Hello everyone, it's Enhle here. If you come across this video for the first time, please don't leave, keep watching. You may find this very interesting. If it doesn't interest you, but it may interest someone that you know, so please keep sharing to them, and please subscribe, share, and if you're coming back again, I love you so much for trusting me with your data and your time. I promise that I'm not going to waste a lot of your time and data today. I'll make a short video talking about how to apply a protection order. Remember, this page is about this YouTube brother. It's about more gender-based violence issues than anything else. We are trying to give people power as to how to leave their toxic relationships. We give them power to do so. And we're not encouraging everybody just to leave their relationship and create scenarios that are not there. Remember, magistrates are not stupid, they are not fools. They do listen to stories, and they do make sure that they listen to both sides and do the fairness. If you can remember, not so long ago, last year in 2021, a famous lady by the name of Enhle did not manage to get a restraining order or a protection order against Black Coffee, who is her husband. And the contents of the court were not made available. So we don't really know exactly what led the magistrate to do that. But in short, I'm going to tell you some scenarios that end up in that way. So it's not all protection orders that will be granted, not all harassment orders will be granted. Let's start here. Let us differentiate the two. When do one apply for the protection order, and when do one apply for the harassment order or restraining order? Protection order is applied by members of the family against each other, people who are in a relationship against each other. Then they apply things called a protection order. Whereas the harassment order is an order that you can apply against your employer, employee, your neighbor, and whoever that you have a problem with, but is not a family member. It's not even having a relationship with you. It's called the harassment order. So we've got two different kinds of orders. At one stage, they were all called restraining orders. Right now, they both restrain you, but then they are called in different names. So, and I also discovered that there is a special protection order, which is for people living with people who are community members of LGBTQIA+. They also have their own special forms that works exactly the same. They are also protection orders. Now, let us try and make example as to when do we use what. A man and a wife, a girlfriend and a boyfriend fight, and it gets bad. It entails sexual harassment, emotional harassment, one is swearing the other, and so on and so on. One of them or both of them can apply protection orders against each other while living together. A protection order does not break up your relationship unless when you want to break up the relationship. A relationship is broken up by people, not the protection order itself. I want people to be clear about that. So in other words, I am Celia. I am married to Jacob. Jacob, we've been staying together for 2 years. Jacob swears at me and he uses derogative words against me when he's drunk, when he is angry. He says I'm a fool, I am nothing. He calls me by my private part. He does everything that makes me feel belittled. And I love Jacob, but Jacob is not taking my emotions into consideration. He does not care about how I feel. I need to make sure that he understands that this hurts me as much as I'm not ready to let go of Jacob. I have a right to go to the police station first. When I get to the police station, they will help me fill a form. That form, I don't know what they call it, but it's a form of the protection order. It's the first part of the protection order. Then from there, if it's filled, stamped by the police station, then I take it to the court, and the court they make what do you call it? They make a file. They make a file. Some of the papers that were filled at the police station are staying in the file, and they give me some that I am going to have. They make a copy, which is a copy that will work in the interim. So this one is called the interim protection order. Already I have protection in terms of him repeating the things that made me to do this in the first place. There are 2 copies. I must go to the police, or I must call the police to come and hand him his part of the order. So I'll be having 2 identical ones. Now they make him sign for his, and it has got what we call a return of service, where he signed, what time did he sign, who are the police that made him sign for that. That paper needs to be taken to the court. Now, some policemen are a bit lazy. They will give you to take it back to the court, and some will take those and take to the court themselves. Fine. Then you are given on those 2, you have on his or her and yours, you have the date at which you'll be appearing in front of the officer of the court or the magistrate, where you're gonna tell them why you feel like this man needs to stop doing these things to you. And he may also go there and do another one, which is called counter protection order, and maybe claim that you also do the same. Now the date comes, or let's say before the date comes, when the person that has been given the interim protection order, should the person do these things that you mentioned there on the interim order, you can go back to the court. They will give you the warrant of arrest. You tell them he did exactly the things that I asked them not to. They give you a warrant of arrest. You go to it with the police station, and the police come and take him, even before his appearance at the court on his date. But should it ever happen that he didn't do anything before your date of appearance at the court, so the two of you must go and show up at the court on that day. When you get there, you get a chance to talk first, because you are the first one that applied for the protection order. You give the reason now in front of the officer of the court or the magistrate himself as to why do you want the protection order. And then he has to answer for himself that is it true the things that are said here or not. And he may deny, or he may maybe also make other claims. If there are other claims, the magistrate will also entertain his claims and ask you about the claims that he also had. And based on those and statements, the magistrate may decide to make the protection order permanent. And he signs it and give it to the woman. But should the magistrate discover that you are not honest, you just felt devious, you just went there feeling devious that you want the protection order, they may decline to officiate your protection order. That is a story for another day, because I feel like even if I say I don't want you to do something to me anymore, I think I have a right to be given that. But then if the magistrate believes it's a lie, that I am under no threat whatsoever, they decide otherwise. Fine. And then if he also came up with his claim, and maybe his claim is found to be a lie, same applies. You are not given protection orders, or both of you may be given protection orders to go home. And the magistrate in that case will always even advise that you need to go and see psychologists or marriage counselors or social workers to help you with the problems. Because your protection order doesn't say stay away from me. It says don't swear at me, don't insult me, don't harass me, don't threaten me, all those things. So you can still stay together, but on our staying together, please don't do this, please don't do this, please don't do this. Everything that is going to make me feel like I am uncomfortable. So there is that type of a protection order. And then for partners who are dangerous, this kind that says, if I can't have you, no one can. For partners who are like, who do you think you are? I'll scratch that face of yours. No man will ever see you after I'm done with you. For partners who are like, should you ever leave me, I'm gonna kill everyone at your place and your children and you and myself. For all those, your life is at danger. Your protection order has to state clearly that you'd like to have the person far away as possible. You have to write each and every threat that he has said, every bit of it. And I think this is the only protection order that comes with a warrant of arrest, even before the date of the court. That one comes up with a protection order and the warrant of arrest, that should he ever do any of the things, should he come close by to you, because now that one you make it when you feel like I am hurtful, I can't take this anymore, I really do want to stay away from him and he should not be seen in my vicinity. then you take that kind of a protection order. So that protection order prohibits him to be any distance around you. Should he be seen around you or around your vicinity, you can call the police, present to them the warrant of arrest. He'll be arrested just on that time. You don't have to start at the police station, at the court first. And then let's come to the harassment order. Harassment order is for neighbors, it's for friends that do not like each other, that had a big clash. It's for colleagues at work. It's for, you know, those people, like people that you are not related to. The same applies. You are given the two. One must be given to, one is for the applicant, the other one is for the defendant. And the defendant can also apply the counter, and you still have a date set for the two of you to go and appear in front of the magistrate and state your cases. And if it makes sense, the magistrate can grant your harassment orders. If both of you have applied, or they can grant one harassment order that has been there and has got enough evidence, and that's it. So that is what I wanted to tell you in terms of applying protection orders within the South African context of protection orders and harassment orders, how to apply for one and when to apply for one. So we also need to not misuse these chances that we have of the law protecting us. We should not go and open cases of applying for protection orders, and then the following week, now we are lovey-dovey kissing each other, then we go and cancel the protection orders. Because it's a lot of paperwork, and we all know that this person doesn't want to go to jail, and they will sweeten you, you know. They can put butter on your whole body, they can put honey on your whole body, just for the sake of not having that protection order, because they do know they want to do the things they do to you peacefully, knowing they cannot be arrested. People do not change. Whatever drove you in the first place to go and open the protection order, believe me, even after canceling the protection order, the person will still be doing it. The promise of, baby, I'll never do it again. I promise you, I'll never do it again. It's never kept. It's an empty promise. He will do it, and do it even better. If he won't do it, then he won't have a problem with the protection order in the house. He must just tell you that, you know what, baby, that protection order is gonna be an elephant in the room. It's gonna be a white elephant. You're not gonna attend to it. I'll never be to my baby. He should not force you to go and cancel it. If he is really, really serious about changing his ways, he will not force you to go and cancel the protection order. He will allow you to have the protection order and have his protection order. They will be there. You live happily ever after in peace without protection orders being cancelled. The minute he forces you to go and cancel the protection order, just know that he is buttering you and peanut buttering you and jammering you and cheesing you so that you are a better sandwich that he can enjoy better when you come back from canceling the protection order, he's gonna beat you in peace, and knowing that it will be difficult for you to go back to the police and the magistrate that you told to shove their protection order because you don't need it. You and your baby and you and your lover and you and your honey are back in good space again, so you don't need a protection order. A protection order saves lives. A protection order is only a paper, but it does save lives. If it didn't save lives, not so many men would be fighting to have it cancelled. Why do they want it cancelled? They want it cancelled because they want to carry on doing whatever they do to you peacefully. And it's up to you to allow them. Do you really want to be battered by a person that you cannot call the police for? So please, thank you so much. Please leave the comments about these protection orders and harassment orders. There are forms of papers that you can use that can provide some form of safety and some form of help from the authorities to try and minimize the things we are going through in our homes. Thank you very much for watching this, and please share it for others so that they know. Thank you. Good night.